Old Bloods, Ralph Lauren collection, and trash. If anything, it was supposed to be Tommy Hilfiger. Cause just because you get a gorgeous dark-skinned girl, her 20s, to narrate the commercial doesn't make it a good collection. Because I don't really identify with that whole Jack and Jill crowd.
You all seem to think that there's only one type of Black experience, and that bothers me. We have got to get out of this mindset, you guys. I mean, please release us from the shackles of thinking that Black people are a monolith. You not knowing that Black wealthy people vacation in Oaks Bluff, Martha's Vineyard, and that is an island where it's just for us. You not knowing that does not mean that this entire Ralph Lauren collection is therefore invalid.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Baby, we got it going on again. We have it going on again. When it comes to Black people who don't understand or accept that there are different classes and different experiences that Black people have. Basically, the famous designer Ralph Lauren just released his collection called Oaks Bluff. It's a tribute to Oaks Bluff, which is a location in Massachusetts, Martha's Vineyard, which is very, very, luxury, high end. And there is a Black community that's there, well off, well educated, luxurious, luxury Black people who live there, who visit there for many, many years. And he has this absolutely beautiful commercial that I'm going to show you, showing nothing but these beautiful Black people dressed, preppy and put together. Also paying tribute to Spelman and Morehouse, as you can see, the HBCUs. And there are some Black people who this commercial doesn't resonate with them. They feel like they can't relate, or this is not realistic, or how some Black people think, oh, this is too white. And Black people, I'm so happy to see a number of comment sections making videos saying, look, this is how I grew up. We don't all live in the hood or in the ghetto, okay? We're not a monolith, and I'm tired of a certain aesthetic being promoted for Black people. And some feel, oh, this isn't me. This doesn't represent my people. This isn't realistic, when it is. There are Black people who grew up in the suburbs, in beautiful homes and gated communities, especially in places like Georgia, Atlanta, the DMV area, okay? Where I grew up, there were Black children who lived in 3-story homes, okay? And you see that a lot, especially in places like Maryland, near DC, not only known for very good-looking Black people in the DMV area, but also well-off, high society, and not all the 1%, just, upper middle class, okay? And the reason why this discussion keeps happening is because there is a significant amount of Black people who are from the hood and from the ghetto and not upper crust, as they say. I'm seeing them bring up Jack and Jill again. This continues. It's nothing wrong with Jack and Jill. Class exists in every single society, in every community that you go to. For some weird reason, it becomes a very sensitive, weird topic when we talk about being Black American. And yes, there are the have and the have-nots in the Black community. This dates back even not too far off after slavery, Black people who had trades and skills, who were not always in extreme poverty. And this exists, okay? This is a very real thing. Not everyone is struggling. Not everyone grew up feeling discriminated against all the time. And it does happen in some of these spaces when people are shocked that you're not poor. You speak very proper. You speak correct English. You're very educated. You have a good job or a successful business, or how you dress. And yes, you do get treated differently when you dress a certain way, when you look like you are classy. Yes, that very much exists. So let's look at the commercial. This beautiful commercial, and let's see what some Black people are saying in response to some Black people who got so offended by this Ralph Lauren collection called Oak Bluffs, paying tribute to black people from that area and black people who do in fact dress like what you are going to see. And I also think these type of commercials are extremely important. It's very important that black children, especially black children who do grow up in the ghetto, they need to see that there are different types of black people, that your life doesn't have to stay stuck in the hood or in the projects or crime-ridden neighborhoods. That's why the Cosby Show mattered. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Black people live differently, and it doesn't mean that you are trying to be so-called, some of y'all love to say, being white and all that. It doesn't matter if you feel that way or not. It is what it is. But we don't all talk the same. We don't like the same things. We live differently. We have black people into country music, into grunge, okay? Pop music, R&B, dance hall, funk, reggae, hip hop, jazz, opera. And it's important that we stop trying to put ourselves in a box and push a very popular toxic image that, we're just into R&B and hip hop. We just do this. We just dress like this. We all wear fronts. We all sag our pants. We all wear this. That's not all of who we are. And it's time that the classy black woman and black man becomes the normal image people see and is pushed more, especially towards these young black children, to see, it's not impossible to live differently, and you haven't lost being black and or any of those things. Okay, we're not all very hood and ghetto and stuff, and they need to see that. So let me be quiet. Let's look at the commercial and see what they're saying. Love it, love it, love it. Looking at the beach, the waters, the beautiful boat. Love it. Love this shot. I love that. Look at him. Okay, and they're wearing the Oaks Bluff. He's wearing the Oaks Bluff shirt. So if you look closely at this commercial, there's a few things being shown and said without them saying anything. Let's really look at this again. Okay, look, you have a group of young and 20-something-year-old black people dressed very clean cut, natural hair, nice hats and everything, gathered together, showing friendship. You have a mother with her daughter, caressing her daughter, showing her being a nurturing, loving mother. Okay. You also have, look, she's riding her bike. Her environment is beautiful. Looking at the ocean water, she still has cornrows, and we know braids is considered something cultural. So she hasn't lost her identity while still wearing a very classy and preppy Ralph Lauren outfit. Looking at the ocean, riding her bike, you have a black couple, a black man, sweet young love, okay, of the same complexion. And we can date each other being different complexions, but you don't always see that promoted. She has natural hair, wearing her cute outfit. You have a father bonding with his son, playing tennis, dressed preppy. Okay, and this is not abnormal. In the early 1900s, this is how black men were dressing. So he's bonding and spending time with his son. Yes, we know that there is a high out of wedlock birth rate, but there are in fact black people who do grow up with having their fathers. Okay, so you see that being represented for those who do. Okay, the outfit, look. Preparing the young son, doing their tie. We know about some of the balls that some of the, as y'all say, the boule like to have and stuff like that. But just, being classy. Okay. Two black girls, young black girls, women, bonding, having fun, sitting on their porch, not in a crime-riddled area where they have to worry. They are enjoying their life with the flowers outside. Okay, him looking over where he lives. He's looking at the beautiful boat, a boat his family might possibly own. the environment that he's in, having fun. I just love this shot right there. No worries, just taking in nature, living at Oaks Bluff, enjoying her life. Look, an older black couple who have remained married, not having a stressful environment. He loves his wife. He's kissing the wife on her head. A classy black couple, suit and tie and her formal wear with a beautiful chandelier showing, yes, there are black people who live in luxury and have this life. Okay, so there's a lot in the older black man representing class, and he's not struggling. He's made a way for his life, and he lives pretty decent, and he's dressing nice, okay? And look, just looking at the water representing Oaks Bluff. So there's a lot going on in the commercial very quickly, and the music is classy and beautiful. Let's look at some more and what the response again has been for black people who have a problem with this commercial and seeing black people in this light who do live this way. Let's see. I love that. I love that. Let me go back. I love this. I love their outfits. And if you look closely, she's wearing the Spelman sweater. Okay, so they're paying tribute again to the HBCU. And they are wearing it's very different, each style. Very clean, sophisticated, and classy. Natural hair, pulled back and not. I mean, it's different. So, okay, you have that. So, yes, the commercial was very well done to me.
The same black people that are complaining about the Ralph Lauren Oaks Bluff collection are the same ones that would rather their children be athletes than lawyers or doctors. They are the same ones that would celebrate a sexy red but know absolutely nothing about Rhapsody. The same ones that do not realize that a plain Jane Patek or Rolex is worth more than a damn bust down. The idea that somebody like Jay-Z would put down gaudy jewelry and start collecting art because it appreciates more in value, that concept is foreign to them. They literally cannot see past the world that they currently are in. Having black people that are Ivy League or living in affluent communities, that just seems so far from their imagination. Until we realize and recognize that we are not a monolith, we will continue to be our biggest damn enemy.
What she said is nothing but the truth. You see, the problem with us as black people is that we keep believing everybody can go. We keep believing we can save everybody. We keep believing we are all the same, and we're not. It is a mentality issue, because just because someone lives in the ghetto, in the hood, doesn't always mean they're like the people they're surrounded by who have a different low-level mentality, who associate rising up within society or speaking well or doing better as being white, which is the most crazy thing I've ever heard, and very slow. So it is a mentality issue, but yeah, being in certain areas, it can run rampant. Collecting art, buying things that, again, will be worth a lot. People, she's just said, the woman said, people who don't know more, and they think that what you're doing is crazy, and it's actually something that's smart. It's just a difference in mentality and where people are at. The thing is, some people can never get out. Some people, black people, just can't. Sometimes you just have to separate from some of them, and that doesn't mean you can't love some of them, but they are different, and meaning they are regressive. They cannot progress. They can't, and they're pulling black people down, because anyone can change if they want to when it comes to, well, changing your environment, learning something new. And it's not always easy for anyone, but when they start making fun of you and picking on you, and you got to get away from those type of black people, which do exist. And it could be hard for some black people who all their friends are like that. Everybody around them, their whole damn family and stuff. You literally have to move away and get the hell away from some of them just to be able to pull yourself up. Okay, so I'm showing these pictures as an example because black people who look at black people who dress very classy, and it's pretty obvious that, you know, maybe they come from a different environment. Now, anyone could change how they dress, but you know what I'm saying? Like I told you that story of how that man was so in shock when I was wearing a polka dot outfit and all that other stuff. And I also, let me share, I told you that story where I went to a mall that had just opened. I didn't know that it was marketed to a lot of rich people. And I was a teenager and I did not dress really up. I didn't, I wasn't dressed that well. And I was with my mother's friend. We went, and there was a black woman who looked very well off, how she was dressed, okay, how she looked. And she gave me the stankiest look. And I was a teenager, like, what you like, like you don't belong up in here type of thing. It was nasty. Okay, so I don't like snooty black people who are very well off. You shouldn't treat people like that. Okay, she thought that she was better based on her outfit, the men she was with who looked kind of rich and stuff like that, well off black people, and I was dressed down when I went there as a teenager at that time. But she didn't know me. She doesn't know anything about what kind of money I have or anything like that. So you do have black people who exist like that. Different classes, and some who do think they're better and some who don't. Okay, some who pulled themselves up out of the ghetto and became very successful and changed their environment. Okay, so I mean, yeah, when black people act so in shock when they see black people wearing suits and ties and these, the hats and the bow ties and stuff, this is not something new. Because look at how black men back in the day carried themselves. They were clean cut. They didn't have tattoos all over their necks and bodies. They styled their hair, kept a low cut and neat. Okay, they did their eyebrows, not looking crazy. They had mustaches or didn't. They kept their nails clean. They wore dress pants and dress shoes, especially on a date. Okay, this is how they were representing themselves as far as how they looked, how they carried themselves. Now, today, look at how far gone they have dropped. Look how the black man has fallen. I'm not saying that every black man, but damn, there's a hell of a significant amount that is actually tragic, what I'm seeing. The face tattoos near the eyes and the foreheads and their arms, their hands. This is actually a better picture of him. Unkept hair that's just completely unkept. Gold fronts, gold rotten looking teeth in their mouth, their pants hanging off their butts, sneakers with everywhere they go, not ironing their clothes, completely different than how we used to see them look, where they carried themselves with dignity. They actually look clean, like they washed, and they dress better. This is a fact, okay? Even when it comes to black women. I mean, this was not crazy to see women wearing their best outfits, not just on a Sunday, wearing gloves, okay, undergarments, because a lot don't even wear undergarments anymore, slips under their dresses, cute flowers, nice hats, okay, the coats looking nice, okay. I love seeing the vintage photos, styling their hair with the curl styles and looking clean, looking good. And yes, there are still black women who dress like this, but today you see a lot of this promoted. Face and neck tattoos, just like the men. These very long eyelashes, and lashes look good. I just don't like them when they're extremely long. Hers are okay in this. Okay, and the very long fingernails, the neon green hair and neon pink hair. Okay, the very long, nasty looking fingernails, the tats every single wear. I'm talking like neck, eyebrows, and all that other stuff, and the very long. It's just different. Black women back in the day had a more cleaner aesthetic, more cleaner, more put together. And yes, there are still black women who look put together, okay? Not everyone looks like Sexy Red, but it is a significant amount where it is a problem. In my opinion, you don't have to agree. So yeah, I mean, this is another picture that I love. I absolutely love it. She's not doing too much, but she looks together, okay? She has her lace, her cute little hair feather, eyebrows done, her little choker. Black women just were, to me, more ladylike and glamorous. And again, I do see that today, but I do see things like extremely tight clothing sometimes and over exaggerating too much, too many rings on one finger, nails too long, an extreme amount of jewelry, just looking tacky and not clean, the clean look. Okay, you can still do it, but have it going together. Again, there are black women who still look good and represent today, and I make sure I do when I go out. I'm just saying was being promoted is a problem, because there was a black woman who said, there's a certain aesthetic that people think black people in America look like. And this is because black America has given the okay. Black people in America, let me get that picture again. Black people have allowed degenerate images from even how we dress and look to be the face of black America. And people are not used to seeing it. That's why when you are in certain places, some people are surprised because they are not used to seeing black people there, or they don't see black people embracing certain stuff. Yes, black people like jazz music and dress like what you saw in that commercial, but black America has allowed filthiness to be the dominant thing people see of black culture. So I do blame black people for this, because anytime you talk about these images we see that's negative, the men and the women will jump on you. They will jump on you. They will say you are being elitist, or you're acting like a white man, the white man and woman, because, oh, you think you're better than them. And some black people will tell you, yes, I do. I am not like some of them. I don't want to be. And you shouldn't want to either, some of you. Why do you want them to represent your culture and have your little girls thinking that this is normal and this is what they should aspire to look like or to be? You see, you have to take out the trash. Other groups of people want to take out the trash. We want the trash to be the face of the race. And that's why we are losing. And I'm not the first person to say this. And it doesn't mean you have to hate them. It just means start promoting and embracing being classy again. But black people as a whole are not doing it. And then you act in shock when people honestly think we all look or act a certain way, because that has not been the image the entire world sees on average. On average, we have rappers who hate the crap out of women, especially a number of black women who can barely even speak, going to political functions to speak for the black community, okay? And black people ready to cancel you every single time you say anything to call out bad behavior and say that you are a sellout, when actually you're not. You're the one that can help save the damn race, but they're not willing to separate from filth and want to say that you are elitist, the Jack and Jill conversation. So let me be quiet and show you more of what's being said.
Hey guys, so Ralph Lauren just launched his phenomenal new campaign called Oak Bluffs. And guess what? I'm here to talk about it. These campaign images are phenomenal, and they celebrate the rich and prestigious history of Atlanta HBCUs, Spelman and Morehouse College. This campaign truly illustrates what Ralph Lauren does best, and that is showcasing beautiful people doing beautiful things in beautiful places. All the looks are classic, clean, preppy, and timeless. Very, very, very Ralph Lauren. And the campaign celebrates and showcases this romanticized version of American life, which is what Ralph does well. Keep going, Ralph. We love this collab.
You're not the target audience for this. It wasn't meant for you, and that's okay. Why is black people being shown in a positive light such a problem for you? We didn't all grow up stealing. In fact, if I ever thought about stealing, my mom would probably put me 6 feet under. This is not one band, one sound. We are not a monolith, and we all grew up with different experiences. Not everything is out of a Tyler Perry struggle movie. The same people that have a problem with this are the same people in school talking about, look at that nigga reading. Why does he talk so white? You're so articulate. Are you trying to be white? Just for simply wanting to do well in school. This collection does an excellent job in showcasing that we have diverse styles, diverse opinions within the black community. We started dandyism, we can dress preppy, we can do great tailoring. This collection is out of your budget and that's why you're upset. That's a totally different conversation to have. But in this day and age where we have brands like American Eagle pushing eugenics with Sydney Sweeney, it's even more important to be able to have this type of representation as a part of American culture. And having a major fashion brand like Ralph Lauren doing this is giving it exactly the amount of visibility that it needs to get. Before you guys get on here with your thought pieces, actually think about people that live outside of your bubble.
The second collection is based off Oak Bluff, the only section in Martha's Vineyard where black people can gather and do their thing. Cool. I don't give a fuck about none of that.
Oak Bluff was one of the places in America where black people feel safe. Probably still to this day, where black people feel safe and they could escape the racism for a brief moment of time. And you just say you don't give a F about none of that. Not every black American grew up in poverty. Not every black American grew up in the struggle. Not every black American has the same experience. Black Americans are not monolithic, and you are doing exactly what the oppressors are doing. I feel extremely bad for black men trying to understand topics and express their feelings because they fall into white supremacy so fast and they don't even realize it. And then you say that black people stole their style. Stole it from who? Black excellence, you want to call it black elitism or black dandyism, was created by black people. We took rags and turned them into riches, just like we do with everything else. And then Ralph Lauren was what took it upon himself to showcase the negative side of black Americans, then you will still be outraged. At least he's trying to show something historically black and respectful, and you can't be mad about that. And if you feel so offended by it, for once, close your mouth and do something for your people yourself. It's just that simple.
Oak Bluff's Ralph Lauren collection and trash. If anything, it was supposed to be Tommy Hilfiger. Because just because you get a gorgeous dark-skinned girl, her 20s, to narrate the commercial doesn't make it a good collection. Because I don't really identify with that whole Jacket Jill crowd. And honestly, dude, Jack Jill has many chapters. But you gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, because Tommy Hilfiger is not around, we got Ralph Lauren. So because Timberland's not around, we got Ralph Lauren. It's not a good collection. And to sit here, for me to sit back and be like, oh yeah, this is a good collection because black people don't go to Martha's Vineyard like that. We go to the Hamptons. If anything, Martha's Vineyard is like a fake Maryland.
This is exactly why I've said that Kendrick Lamar ruined the black community for the worse. You all seem to think that there's only one type of black experience, and that bothers me. We have got to get out of this mindset, you guys. I mean, please release us from the shackles of thinking that black people are a monolith. You not knowing that black wealthy people vacation in Oaks Bluff, Martha's Vineyard, and that is an island where it's just for us. You not knowing that does not mean that this entire Ralph Lauren collection is therefore invalid. It just simply means that this collection was not made for you. You're not its target audience, boo. You don't get it because it wasn't meant to reach you. I mean, I hate to say it in that way, but this collection was not made for those who grew up in underprivileged areas and then never did their research throughout life to learn more about a culture or an environment outside of their own. It wasn't made for you. Not that you can't be included now, but you aren't its target audience, clearly, because you didn't understand it. This was a wonderfully done collection. It's beautiful. The people who get it, get it. Here's a hint. The type of family that this collection was meant to reach is the Cosbys. The Cosbys. They definitely would have vacationed in Oaks Bluff, for sure. It, however, was not meant to reach the Winslows from Family Matters. They wouldn't have been able to afford to vacation in Oaks Bluff. Not likely. Not likely. Will Smith and the Banks from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They definitely would have vacationed in Oaks Bluff. However, the Evans family from Good Times, they would not have been able to vacation in Oaks Bluff. You see what I'm saying? They ain't going to Oaks Bluff. They can't afford Oaks Bluff. If you're not familiar with that, that's fine. That's okay. It's just not for you. That pocket poet really made y'all think that your experience is the only experience, and I will never forgive him for that.
I don't care what anybody says, the Ralph Lauren Oak Bluffs collection was executed perfectly. This one was exclusively for the culture, and I love it. Ralph Lauren is known for style, prestige, exclusivity, and high quality. As a brand known for its timeless looks and quintessential American style, there's nothing more American than the African American experience. This obviously wasn't just a money grab. They took the time to explore the history and the lifestyles of the African American elite, and they niched niched down to the specific group that found a safe haven in Sheer Cottage and Oak Bluffs. Martha's Vineyard is seen as a retreat for Black leaders, investors, and philanthropists to unwind and connect. Historically, white Americans have had their own elite travel destinations known throughout the country: Napa Valley, the Hamptons, Palm Beach. But Martha's Vineyard had a very traditional and cultural experience and style that went along with this location. I am someone who loves aspirational content, and although this isn't a personal lived experience, I love to see Black people celebrated and represented. As tastemakers, curators, and creatives, we definitely deserve a platform to be highlighted and respected. Ralph Lauren is also a proud supporter of the Cottagers Inc., a nonprofit organization comprised of 100 Black female homeowners on Martha's Vineyard to support building restoration, cultural preservation, and community resilience efforts. It also partners with the United Negro College Fund to support scholarships for students at HBCUs. Black stories are important, Black history is important, Black education is important, and I support a brand that highlights that. Go shop the collection now.
So the thing that frustrates me is that content creators, Black content creators, think we're all monolithic. Like if there's something made for the Black culture, that it means that it's made for all of us, or that all of us is supposed to like it. And that's just not the case. So out of this conversation or this dialogue that I'm seeing across this internet, it's upsetting to me that we feel like Black people can't live like this, or Black people don't look like this, or Black people don't come from this. Like, as I said earlier, we're all monolithic. Not all of us grew up in the hood. Some of us grew up in areas where it's high fluent, maybe middle class, the suburbs. Like, that is our lifestyle. Some of us went to Spelman and Morehouse or Ivy League colleges. Some of us have traveled to Martha's Vineyards before. There's a movie called The Inkwell. Please go watch it. It is rich with Black history and culture. The collection represents dandyism to me, which is also from Black culture. Like, Black people live like this. And I don't know if the visual of it makes it seem like it's not attainable. Does it look too luxury? Does it look too bougie? Like, what is it? Because that is our history. I also need for Black people to stop thinking that we have to come from struggle or poverty or poor or in certain neighborhoods for it to make sense to us. I think that is where I said my frustration is, because that's what other people think about us. That if we're successful, we must have did it illegally, or it was handed to us. Because the visual of us looking like we come from luxury, it's not real. And that mindset, I think, hinders a lot of us, and it hurts us in ways that we don't even understand. And to me, that collection represents me and my family personally. Like, that's how I dressed in high school. That was me. My kids aren't from struggle. They aren't. And I'm not ashamed to say that shit. Like, that was the whole point of why me and my husband do what we do, is so they wouldn't be in struggle. And that's okay. That's okay. But to the Black creators who feel like this is misrepresenting Black people, I need for y'all to understand that our history has wealth in it. Our history has certain luxuries. A lot of the luxuries and wealth that you see come from us. That is our history. But since it's not seen enough, it's not prevalent, and it seems unattainable, it comes across as fake. And that just is so not true. It's not true. And so I love this collection. Thank you to Ralph Lauren for finally showing a collection of Black people and wealth at the golf course or at Martha's Vineyard. That is a good image as well. And I think we need to stop bashing those that seem like they come from privilege as taboo or not real or fake or whatever. The moral of the story is Black people are monolithic. Some of us are wealthy, some of us are rich, because there's a difference. Some of us have to struggle. Some of us are poor. Some of us are privileged in some ways. Some of us go to Ivy League. Some of us go to community college. Like, we're all monolithic. And just because it's not your experience or it seems foreign to you or not attainable doesn't mean that that is for the next Black person that's next to you. So even though this may not be your collection, it's mine. And since I fit the profile of Black, I'ma take it. So, and one more thing. We all don't have to struggle, y'all. It's really okay. I know that that's what is attached to us, is struggle and pain and discrimination. I get that. But on the flip side of that, we have kings and queens. We have billionaires. We're wealthy. We travel. Like, we're all on the spectrum. And if it isn't for you, just say the shit ain't for you. But don't get on this app lying and saying that it misrepresents us, because it doesn't.
Truly say this in the utmost respectful way. The only people upset with this new Ralph collab are going to be the same ones that try to critique Black people when they articulate themselves and accuse them of trying to be white. The only people that are going to critique this Ralph collab are going to be the same ones that critiqued kids when they was growing up talking about, oh, you grew up in the suburbs, you must be soft. Oh, you grew up in the suburbs, you don't know nothing about the struggle. I was never supposed to know what the struggle is. My parents cared. Truly not trying to be disrespectful about that. Everyone has different circumstances, but at some point, some of you truly need to understand, just because you're a minority does not mean you have to be correlated to poor. Just because you're Black does not mean you're poor. Poverty does not equal Black. In the moment some of you understand that and you start to realize that you just grew up in a terrible environment and the environment you grew up in is not what life is, the better your life will be. To land the plane, I understand Ralph was big in your community, but you have to understand there's an entire world that was also spending money with Ralph during the same time you thought it was cool to rock the polo.
There's been a lot of talk on here about Ralph Lauren's new collection, and it's got a lot of people debating what counts as real Blackness. And this is why I say Black history is so important, because if you don't know where we've been, you'll start believing some of our realities aren't possible. Like the mere idea that a preppy, Black, moneyed aesthetic is just inauthentic. Or that we
stole that shit.
Huh? But let's go back for a second. Jackie Orms, the first nationally syndicated Black woman cartoonist, was doing exactly what this collab is doing. She was expanding the visual language of Blackness. Like, Jackie gave us beauty, fashion, intellect, and activism without apology. In her world, Black girls wore smart suits, fur collars, pearls, cute bikinis, mini skirts. They were tea, and raised an eyebrow at the contradiction of American life. Bell Hooks would have called this Black looks. It wasn't just about appearance, it was about perception. This is about how Blackness is seen stage styled and how those visuals become vessels for memory, imagination, and resistance. The range, the glamour, the nuance, Black people who are middle class, Black people who are soft-spoken, stylish, it's all there. And here's where it deepens. Historian Evelyn Brooks Higginbotham reminds us that race is more than an identity, it's a meta-language, meaning race doesn't just describe, it defines everything else. Class, gender, sexuality, even style. It acts like a master code, shaping the stories we tell and the meanings we assign. So when we say someone doesn't look Black enough or question the validity of certain aesthetics, we're not just critiquing taste, we're reenacting a long used logic that has been used to police Black expression. And Jackie Orms understood that. She wasn't just drawing pretty clothes. She was redrawing the boundaries of what Black femininity could look like and how it could show up. Her characters weren't respectable in the way white America demanded. They were stylish, sharp-witted, politically aware, and deliberately Black. She modeled them after herself, not because she thought she was better, but because she knew we are not a monolith. And if we're going to say that, we have to live it. Loving Blackness means imagining lives that aren't your own and honoring them anyway. And when we erase those stories, we don't just shrink the archive, we erase what's possible in the lived experiences of others.
Okay, so that is it for this video. And I just love a lot of the videos that I saw where Black people were saying, this was my reality. Yes, I grew up not struggling. Yes, I dress preppy. Yes, I know how to speak well. We're not all, again, a monolith. And it's very, very important that Black people, especially young children, see this. Saying things like that man said, oh, you speak well, you're trying to be white. Oh, you like to play golf, you're trying to be white. Oh, this and that, trying to be white. This is very damaging, because when you say things like, oh, they went to college and they're very smart, you're trying to be white. Every time a Black person says this, you are telling the world and other Black people that Black people are stupid, because the opposite of being smart would be stupid a lot. And then you get upset when other races, like some of them still do who are racist, say, oh, Black people have a low IQ. Black people are not intelligent. They can't speak correctly. And English is your first language in America. And then when you get online saying these things, you're just telling them, yeah, I agree. Yeah, we are. You're right. That's what you're doing. I don't know any other group who would feel embarrassed by their best representing them and being seen as smart and intelligent in math and science, knowing how to build a spaceship and understanding coding and understanding math. And you talk about wanting to have a Black Wall Street. Well, that would only happen with the best Black people doing the damn thing. I mean, do you want to get surgery by a Black doctor who didn't go to school and doesn't know what the hell they're doing? So this mentality is weird and crazy that some have, and it's because they're stuck in a box and they don't want to get out of that. And not everybody is going to be super successful or be, or will be smart in every single area. We all have our flaws in certain things, but it still should be pushed and embraced for Black people to be able to compete and to rise up through education. And if you don't have education, a job or something, or a business that you have, stop pushing the ghetto narrative, the ghetto aesthetic, making that the dominant thing of Black culture, which it currently is. And everybody, when they sit down, you know that is true. We know that there are Black people playing jazz, singing and playing jazz music and doing opera. They're not promoted. They're not embraced like the toxic stuff that you see. And that is Black people's fault. We have to change the image, and no one will be the same. It is not realistic to think you will not have sexy reds. They exist. Diversity exists. The problem is when people aren't seeing that diversity, and there's one image that you keep seeing and that people are latching onto. And then when they see something different, oh, this is foreign. This is not us. This is not normal. What are you doing? What are you saying? We don't do this. We don't do that. That's white people stuff. I hate stuff like that. Oh, you can't go skiing. That's white people stuff. Oh my God, you can't do this. That's white people stuff. We don't do that. I hate stuff like that. I'm willing to try different stuff. And I'm into things that I didn't grow up. I don't know any Black girls when I was growing up who liked to watch ice skating. I don't know. I didn't know any, and I wasn't ashamed. Now I see Black girls who are ice skating professionals, and I love to see it because I didn't grow up really seeing many except one. It wasn't common. When I show some of the film and music I like, yes, there are Black girls who listen to other music besides R&B and hip hop, but it wasn't always common to always bond and find other Black girls who listen to Whitesnake or Bon Jovi without saying white people this. It's just ridiculous. We have to stop putting ourselves in boxes and then get shocked when other people are shocked to see you outside of it. And then you don't get the support from your own people who want to say, oh, selling out, oh, this and that. We're not a monolith. Just like they said, and it's true. I'm into a lot of stuff. I have lived in the hood and I have lived in suburbia. I can navigate between two, And I like different things. I'm not into one thing. So, and that should be embraced. Okay. If we want to move up, embrace that. Okay. My opinion. And, you know, even trying to tell us how we should dress and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So what do you think about this collection from Ralph Lauren, the Oaks Bluff Tribute? And let us know in the comments section, how did you grow up? How did you grow up? Did you grow up middle class, poverty, upper class, the suburbs? Were you ever accused of not being black enough because of your interest, how you spoke, how you dressed, and how did you respond to that? What has been your life experience? Have you traveled the world? Have you been in spaces where you don't always see a lot of black people? And how did you navigate in those spaces, and how were you treated in those spaces? And how do you feel about this, some of the negative reaction that black people are being seen who, well, have lived in Oaks Bluff and have a different experience than what you see being pushed by Black America and society. This whole, oh, you're being in the hood and being in poverty and all that other stuff that we see. Let us know in the comment section. All right, so that is it. Let me know how you feel. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please hit the bell for all notifications. I will be reading your comments below. And what do you think again about this very beautiful and amazing collection by Ralph Lauren? You all take care, baby. Click on notifications again so you know when I'm live and when I'm uploading, if you decide to subscribe. You all take care. Bye.